All right, hey, you guys, it's your girl Sonja G here on the TalkBox. I got a real special guest in the building. I have Miles Creed in the building today. We're talking about being an overcomer. But you know what we say here on the TalkBox? Every day above ground is a good day. We got another day, another opportunity to get some things right that we didn't have quite right on yesterday. So that's a blessing in itself. But anyway, tell me this, Miles. First of all, I just want to tell you and welcome you.
Yes, ma'am.
To the TalkBox show. I said that we're talking about being an overcomer, and I know that you've been through a lot of things in your life. And what I found is a lot of times when we're going through some things, we think we're the only ones. We think we're the worst of the worst. And so my thing is, I know that, well, I don't know. I'm going to ask you, were you born blind?
Yes, ma'am. I was born legally blind. I had a condition called micromethalmia where my pupils are small, but I can still see. I can see, like, to get around. I can see things. I can see people, videos and things like that. I just can't see, like, my vision isn't like the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, what about that spiritual vision though? See, when we got some spiritual vision, it makes up for all the rest of that. But not only that, I know that on last year you were dealing with cancer as well. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. It came out of nowhere. I was doing parties, DJing parties and performing after our DJ, and then one morning I just woke up and I couldn't really sit up, and I was told, I thought it was like a bruised sternum. And after me going swimming, the next morning at 3 a.m. I had to go to the emergency room, and they saw a spot on the center of my chest. And from there it was just doctor visit after doctor visit. I got a biopsy done, and after that it just like was nonstop going to the doctor. They did that. They put the port in next week, and then the next week I started chemo.
Okay, so you've been through chemo as well. I want to stop for just a brief moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell everybody, if you want to call in and speak with Miles Creed, you can call in at 615-893-1450 when we're talking about being an overcomer. So you were born blind. Then you went through a bout of cancer. And sometimes people, when they're going through, they want to give up. So I want to ask you, did you ever think about giving up?
No, man. My faith is real strong. I think what really got me through everything was constant prayer. Like the friends I have around me, my family. I have a good support group when it comes to that. But I kept it a secret from like all of my friends. I kept it a secret from majority of my family, and they told them to keep it secret just because I know people that may or may not like you. They may pray on your downfall, or I didn't really want all the text messages coming in like get better, get better. I just wanted to go through a spiritual transition into however I was going to come out of it. And I feel like with me working on a 23 song mixtape along with the album I put out this year, it was.
And what's the name of the album?
I put out an album called Take a Seat, and I put out an EP, which a couple weeks ago, called Diary of a Playboy. It's a new series I'm starting.
Diary of a Playboy.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know. Do your girlfriend like that?
Why?
You're doing what you are unctioned to do. I totally understand that. So, what kind of obstacles have you faced? Like just getting over and becoming the overcomer that I see sitting here before me today. What obstacles did you have to overcome even to transition into putting out your mixtape, or what was the process with that?
I had to keep my faith strong and know that I was going to get through it, because at the beginning I definitely, it just was like blindsided for sure. Like it was like out of nowhere. I didn't have any issues before the diagnosis. So being able to get up every day, the music was like my main motivation. Like that was to clear my mind, to clear my head. I would go and record even when I had surgery after the cancer was out of my body, just to make sure like the little leftover wasn't cancerous. Like the next, like as soon as I could record, I went in there and did,
Mm.
I went in there and did a whole like a whole new song, whole new mix, other songs on the mixtape. I just kept, that's how I kept going and kept staying motivated, was being in the studio,
Okay.
surrounded by the music I normally make.
So basically, one step for us to be an overcomer is number one, I believe, that we have to make sure that we don't allow fear to take over.
Definitely.
You're also looking at or speaking with a cancer survivor. In 2008, they gave me 3 to 6 months to live. Myself, and I just didn't feel like dying. I don't know about you, but I just didn't feel like dying. I said, we got to do something a little different. But here's the thing: when we don't know how to overcome fear, then your fear will drive you into a negative result. Definitely. And so I just want to tell people who are listening today that if you're going through something, number one, you need to know that you're not alone. And number two, you need to know that God is not the author of fear. He gives us a sound mind, gives us love and a sound mind. And if we just push past all of our pain, all of our problems, all of the pressure in life, and pursue your promise, whatever God have promised to you, then we'll start seeing some results. Well, I got a little snippet of your song.
Yeah, Blue Roses.
You want to give us a little intro to the Blue Roses?
Yes, ma'am. This is Blue Roses off of my EP, Diary of a Playboy. I hope y'all enjoy it. Y'all can go stream it everywhere. Everywhere you can stream music, it's available. You dig?
All right. Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm hoping I see brighter days. Well, I don't know about you, but in this climate that we're in, I think a lot of us right now is hoping that we'll see brighter days. But how did you come up with that song? What inspired you to write that?
Well, a couple years ago, my cousin on my mom's side, he passed, Pierre Martin, and he was my cousin on both sides of my family. And his passing like really changed the way I record music. Like, long live P. When before he passed, when he was coming to like 2 of my shows, he came, he was talking about my music in the hood, and he just would always say, we want to change the whole family last name to Creed. So he would start calling himself P Creed. So long live P Creed, you did.
Oh, okay, so that's how Miles Creed came about.
No. Always been Miles Creed. Yes, well.
Okay, so as far as the music that's behind it, is that you playing the music?
No, that's a producer, Drum Dummy Jali. He produced that, and we've been sitting on that record for like 2 years now.
Oh, really?
And but when I went through what I went through, I just held on to it because I feel like it wasn't the right time. But I feel like it is especially like I'm suffocating through the clouds that I blow to, take the pain away. Every night I dream of sunshine.
Yeah.
Hope it take the pain away.
Yeah. That reminds me of a scripture that says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." And I think that's why it's so important for us to not be stifled by fear, and also to watch our words. I don't know how you went through your transition with cancer and stuff, but I was very careful about speaking life into myself.
Definitely.
Because sometimes we are our biggest critics. Sometimes we are our biggest enemies to our own selves, and that is because we don't speak life into ourselves. I tell people, stop waking up in the morning, and before you put your feet on the ground, say, I don't feel good today. You don't know how you feel. You just open your eyes up. And so, but you need to know that your words are so powerful that when you speak that out of your mouth first thing in the morning, think it not strange when you don't feel well all day long. And so I'm just wondering, when you were going through, what are some of the things that you told yourself to get you um through your ordeal and through the treatments and through the chemotherapy, because that's very unpleasant for those who don't know.
Definitely. That pain is temporary, and it's a temporary stage in my life that I had to go through to get to the better part of my life. I prayed every day and talked to God every day and told him that I definitely want to get through this stage of my life to move forward to the next thing that he had for me to do. And I feel like I don't know exactly why it happened, but I didn't really ask why. I feel like I was doing a lot of things that may have pushed me down a different path in life, and I got to sit down and, you know, evaluate myself, who I was around. And my biggest thing was every day taking the negativity. Like if my mom or anybody just brought up anything like bad news, I just didn't want to hear it. Like, so I lost a lot of friends due to that, but it helped me get through everything that I was going through by listening to positivity, keeping nothing but positive people around me.
Yeah, it's one thing that we say here on the talk box: everybody in your circle is not in your corner. And a lot of times we have to assess those that are around us. A couple of rooms that you don't need to be in. Number one, you need to stay out of the room where you're the smartest person in the room. It's time for you to move to another room. And then you also need to stay out of the room that is not going anywhere. People who is always negative, because negativity spread like cancer. Negativity spreads like wildfire. And so if I'm constantly around somebody negative, and then we'll trick ourselves into thinking, well, I know they negative, but I'm positive, I'm gonna rub off on them. But when we look at even in society as a whole, because it takes, I think they said 10 positive things to get one negative thing out of your system. So when you find yourself, those are the two rooms I feel like we need to stay out of. Don't be the smartest person in your room, and don't be in a room that's full of negativity.
For sure.
So that's the thing that I think would help us the most. But by you being the overcomer that you are, for those who don't know, I was around when you were born, and I remember when you used to run around the church, uh, and that sort of thing. And I'm looking at you now, and you've come such a long way. So, what thing in your life that you think that you still need to work on so that you can become the full man of God that God created you to be?
I feel like therapy, that me going to continue to go to therapy to make my mental state strong, and my spirituality is important to me a lot. And even though I make, rap and R&B music, I still put God first always, no matter what the situation or circumstance is. So I just feel like building a better mental state and mental stability, I feel like will make me a better man and even a better artist. I feel like my subject matter is growing with me as a person.
So with you going to therapy, it's like a truth session too. It's like a truthful mirror session. And in our culture, they used to look down upon people that go to therapy. And I want to tell someone who's listening today that it's okay for you to have God and therapy. That's why God blesses people with different gifts and talents. But one thing about therapy, because I go to therapy because I'm just naturally crazy. And so I needed therapy straight out the womb. So, but I go to therapy, and what it helps me to do is just be honest with myself. We need to know that your brain is so powerful, the way that God have created us. Your brain is so powerful that it tricks you into not living in reality. And therapy helps us to live in reality, because in reality, it's okay for me to miss a mark in reality, because nobody's perfect. In reality, it's okay for me to miss a mark and then get back up again. But we'll trick ourselves into thinking that we ain't never fallen. And so the therapy be like, dude, you didn't have no business doing that right there. So we have to learn how not to trick ourselves, and be honest with ourselves. Something that me and my husband pride on this day and time is truth and transparency, because you cannot fix what you cannot identify. So when you were going through your all of your ordeals, and just getting um through to the next thing that's coming up in your life, then you had some obstacles. Definitely. You had some rough times. Is that right?
Yes, man, definitely.
Okay, so what made you continue to strive to overcome, or what was it that helped you to overcome?
By me being born legally blind, I feel like I had to overcome a lot of doubt that people had with me being able to. I was told, even in band, when I first started learning how to play like the tuba, like trumpet, all them different things, that I would never be able to play the drums, because they felt like they were trying to tell me what I can and can't see. Like I can see drum sets and things like that, but I ended up being able to play better than half of the people that was on the playing the drums when I was in school. So I always had to overcome doubt and always stay motivated, and I'm still motivated, and like to go get anything that I set my mind to. Like I don't just dream about things. I believe in setting goals and achieving the goals rather than just trying to withhold a dream in your mind. So that's, I feel like, how I get over majority of the things I've overcome is just staying positive, motivated, and don't let any doubt in.
Right. So what all instruments do you know how to play?
I can play. My main instrument is drums. That's why my logo is a drum with an M in it. But I can play drums. I can make melodies on keyboards for music, trumpet, saxophone, and then I started playing the tuba. But I don't think I could just really play the tuba like that. I don't really. I could probably get some notes out, but I would say mainly just drums, like, and then different horns, and like just horns.
Do you think being born blind is what helped you to achieve from a musical standpoint?
My hearing is impeccable. My hearing is amazing. Like I can hear little bitty things in the music. I feel like it definitely helps me, and it's a hindrance too, because I feel like a lot of people didn't listen to me when it came to advice on music, but now they, some people listen because they feel like my ears and my hearing is heightened because of my vision. So I mean, I feel like it helps me, and I think it helps me like motivate other people. Like that's what I make music for as well. Like when I first started drumming, is to let anybody know, like we all given the same tools in life. It's just like how you use them. Like if you feel like you have a handicap and you can't do something, don't let that stop you, or don't let anybody else stop you. So I feel like my vision plays a part in, I think, my everyday life.
Well, I think as far as your lack of vision, because from a scientific standpoint and how God created all of us, when one sense is gone, then everything else is heightened too. So that's probably why you can hear more in the music. But I want to tell you this, as far as you said, you think that people don't listen to you or whatever, that would have been a hindrance. That I don't think that that's so, and I'm gonna tell you why. Sometimes it's just not your season yet.
Definitely.
And sometimes you haven't gone through enough. I heard T.D. Jakes preach this one time. There was some gifted preacher that was in his midst, and they was having some kind of conversation, and the preacher, he was really, really young, and he hadn't been preaching that long. But what he was saying was right, but he hadn't put the work in yet. So what you're doing right now is putting the work in. What you have done up until this time, you putting the work in. And sometimes we have to just put the work in and then allow God to open up the season for us. And we miss that a lot of times, even in relationships. We I want a husband, I want a wife, I want this, I want that. Well, it ain't your season yet, you know, and we have to put the work in. So I just think that looking at you and listening to you, you're on the path that God has have told you to go at the rate that you're supposed to be going.
Definitely.
How about that?
I agree.
I agree. I agree. So who is the special people in your life? You gonna give them a shout out?
And most definitely, God, give honor to God, my mom, my pops, family, friends, everybody.
Okay. So what all you got coming up? I know you just dropped the EP. So explain that to me, because
Yeah. So the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series is a book that like a lot of us used to read in school.
Mm-hmm.
So I designed the character after the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So it's like Diary of a Playboy, and it's a series. So I wrote a short film during everything I was going through that is gonna spin off between the Diary of.
Did you say a short film?
Yes, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wrote a short film. Right now I'm just looking for 2 more actresses, and then I'm gonna start shooting it.
Oh, that's good. What kind of parts you got? I might want to act.
Well, I definitely need like 2 more actresses for sure for the roles and everything. It'll be fire. Okay. But yeah, it's
well, let me go on and plug my family. You know, my niece Kelsey Delamar is her movie is running number 2 right now on Tubi. She is the star of the movie Botched right now, but actually she's been in 34 movies now, so she's doing pretty good. So yeah, you reach out to her, she'll play something for you.
Definitely.
I'll play something for you.
I need to get with you after this for sure to set it up, because that's what I'm missing is just 2 solid actresses that can play good roles, and if she definitely can do it, that'd be great. I'll move along the process.
Yeah. So with that, you got the movie or whatever. You dropped the EP. You said how many songs is on there?
So this one is only 3 songs. I may keep every EP like with the Diary of a Playboy series, maybe 3. I think 4 or 5 at the max, but just try to make it like small. And then before that I dropped the Take a Seat joint project with Tim Hill. So that's so me and Tim. I know Tim. Yeah, me and Tim cook up all the time, like for sure.
Okay.
That's the only place I really record is with Tim.
Oh, okay. All right. So do you have management and stuff, or you flying solo, or what are you doing?
I'm looking for a booking agent really bad. I had a booking agent and 2 different managers in the past, but due to COVID and just growing and redirection of branding, that's what I need more than anything is a new booking agent, and I feel like things will move forward as well.
Okay. But I hope and pray that even you being on the TalkBox show get you closer to all of your hopes, dreams, and aspirations.
Yes, ma'am.
But I want to encourage you to just keep striving, man. You're gonna always hit roadblocks and stumbling blocks, and some folk gonna be with you, some folk not. Some folk gonna play like they with you, and they're not. But don't be moved by that either, because even Jesus had Judas, and Judas was necessary. So I look at my life like everything is necessary. I don't get upset when folk leave out of my life. Whatever, that the season is just over. And I think that if we would mature to the place where we're okay when people walk out, or when people don't respond like we want them to respond, when people don't say the things that we want them to say about our journey, because the journey that we're on is our own. The journey that you're on, that's your journey. It's not your mom's journey. It's your journey. So we just need to continue to just walk in what we were created for. Because everybody's not going to understand your journey. They're not going to be down with your journey. But oh well, they told me I couldn't do nothing, and I do anything I want to. As a matter of fact, let me let you steal my little saying for myself. I said, I do whatever I want to, and everybody else got to do what they can.
Thanks.
And I don't apologize for it. Right, right. So, do you have any mottos or anything that you stand by?
Really just stay. I don't think I probably got all kinds of my. Probably got all kinds.
You got all
I feel like show improve is my main motto. I've been
improve.
Me and my bro Grim. That's what we've been saying since middle school. Like if you say something and you can't prove it, I feel like it's nothing. Show improve is my main motto and my.
I like that.
Yeah.
Show and prove.
Yeah.
Because most of the time that'll shut somebody down real quick.
Man, we've been saying this since 7th grade.
I like that. I like that. I just want to remind you, for those who just tuned in, I have Miles Creed, the overcomer, in the house, in the building. I hope and pray that something is being said to help you along your journey and to help you to get through whatever you're going through. Hey, baby, thanks for tuning in. And just know that you're not alone. I know sometimes we feel like we're alone, right? Have you ever felt alone, Miles?
Yeah, for sure.
Messed up.
Yeah, you good for sure. I felt alone before. I feel like I only got two friends for real. I feel like I got a brother. My brother ain't really like a friend no more. He passed that. And then even my little cousin, he like my little brother for real. So I definitely felt alone, but I just keep my circle real small. So it ain't even really a circle. That junk just like a line.
It ain't a circle, it's just a line. I hear you. Well, I think that if we would just keep pressing forward, like I said, and not allow fear to stifle us, I think that is the main thing that hinders us. But I see and I hear that you have not allowed fear to stifle you at all, and I think that's such a blessing. It's a blessing that you continue to overcome any obstacle that the enemy try to set before you. What role, if any, has your mother played in your growth?
I think me and her, like our relationship growing now since I've been going through therapy, and her coming to therapy, just like us holding each other accountable for things, it's built our relationship closer. And just my mom being a main supporter through my whole life and what I went through, obstacles I went through, she been there through everything. And then when she did, branch off and do her own thing, I continued to do what I needed to do. And then when she came back, it's just building that connection and that bond back from when I was younger, and she was always there as a support. But yeah, I think she's definitely a major part in my life for sure.
Yeah, your mom is amazing. I personally know your mom.
Definitely.
So Miles, how old are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 25.
I cannot believe that you're 25 years old. So, but that being said, you've gone through a lot in just 25 years.
Most definitely.
So what do you think you can possibly tell someone else to help them become an overcomer like yourself?
I would just say if there's anybody negative or anything negative in your life, don't let the negativity weigh you down, because that can really not even just bring you to depression, but it can bring you hold you at a standstill. Because I know praying, like me getting on my knees, like physically, every night when I went through chemo and praying to make it through it, like even days where it's hard to get out the bed, I would still get on my knees before every chemo session, every night. And even if I had to get on my knees in the shower, like I'm gonna pray. You feel me? So.
All right. Well, you guys, I gotta wrap it up. I'm your girl Sonja G here on the TalkBox. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Be blessed.
It is. Listening to the TalkBox. Listening to the TalkBox. Let's talk about it.